check.
Just lost my pencil, of course. Good evening and welcome to the Beck Center, the campus of Transylvania University, as it's Kentucky-Indiana All-Star Basketball. First, the girls will entertain us tonight. Gary Ball with former Tates Creek coach Justin Cheatham. And, Coach, we're looking for Indiana and Kentucky All-Stars here tonight on the girls' side, and you got a good connection to the Indiana All-Stars.
That's right. I'm fortunate enough to be the relative of the winningest girls high school coach in the state of Indiana, Donna Cheatham. And when I got into coaching, she came right down to Lexington and certainly showed me a lot. She's coached in this game twice, and I'll tell you what, the Indiana All-Stars have had their way with the Kentucky All-Stars numerous times, but as we've seen today, this week, throughout practice, this Kentucky team's coming ready to play tonight.
You know, we've got the Gatorade Player of the Year for Indiana, of course, Allie Patberg. She is out of Columbus North. She's headed to Notre Dame, averaged 26 points a game. The only McDonald's All-American in this game. She'll be going up against our Miss Basketball, Macy Morris, out of Bell County, headed to UK, averaging 26. What do you see in that matchup, Patberg and Macy Morris?
Just two evenly matched players who seldom miss. So it's really going to be who will sit down and play defense, because I'm telling you, Gary, all week I've watched Macy shoot. I watched her shoot today during warm-ups. She has yet to miss a shot. So it'll be fun to see Allie go up against her and put some defense on her.
You know, one thing about it is we have the national anthem here being sung by Jackson Davis's sister, and you've got some great size for the Kentucky women as we got the national anthem. Beck Center here on the campus of Transylvania. Gary Ball with Coach Justin Cheatham. It's the Kentucky girls all-star basketball team against the Indiana girls all-star basketball team. And Coach, tell us a little bit about the history of this rivalry between Kentucky and Indiana. I know it's, as you mentioned, kind of been dominated by Indiana lately.
Right. Overall, this has been going on now for 75 years. It's hard to believe. The first Indiana all-star team was actually created in 1939. They didn't have Kentucky to play back then. They played their state champion, Frankfurt Hot Dogs. Can you believe there was a team called the Hot Dogs? But there was. And then in 1940, the series began, of course, with the ladies picking up in 1976. So this is the 39th year that the ladies have competed, Kentucky versus Indiana.
Can you imagine some of the talent that's been on this floor for the Indiana boys basketball team, not to mention the girls, but on the boys side, Larry Bird played in this game. Kyle Macy out of Peru, Indiana, played in this game. Oscar Robertson out of Indianapolis played in this game. I mean, there have been some superstars. And then you look at the Kentucky side. Jack Givens played in this game, who went on to be an All-American and score 41 in the national championship game. You go back to the Frank Beard days. You go back to Wes Unseld. I mean, there have been some of the best players to ever come, out of the into the NBA coming out of this game.
Right, and it's so exciting because really when you think about basketball, you think about two states first, and that's Kentucky and Indiana. And to see these two teams go up against each other, the best of the best in the premier basketball states in the country, that's why this is such an exciting event that has lasted for so long.
The starting lineups tonight that were given to us by both coaches. We'll take a look at Indiana. They're announcing the entire squads, but we'll give you the starters that were given to us by the Indiana coach, Mark Holt, and the assistant, Jane Schott. Allie Patberg out of Columbus North. All she did, Coach Cheatham, was win a state championship 4A variety this year for her team out of Columbus North. She's headed to Notre Dame. She's the Gatorade Player of the Year. And if you're wondering about Kentucky, our Gatorade Player of the Year, Erin Boley, she's only a junior out of E-Town. So our Gatorade Player of the Year will be playing in this game next year.
That's right. Miss Boley has a teammate, though, tonight from E-Town. Coming in here as Rihanna Cleaver for Kentucky.
Victoria Gaines is scheduled to start according to the coach of Indiana. She is a 6'1" forward. She's out of Merrillville going to Michigan State. Brittany Ward is out of Pike High School. She's 6'1". She's headed to Butler. Butler are getting a lot of these girls from Indiana. Also Purdue, very heavily represented.
Yeah, you see Purdue and Butler all over the rosters here for both teams. So you can expect that those two teams are very excited. And I see Michigan State represented well here, too, for some Indiana recruits.
Speaking of that, Jenna Allen is scheduled to start. She's 6'3" out of Bedford North, Lawrence High School. She's going to Michigan State. And the other starter is Darby Maggard. She's only 5'5" out of Fort Wayne, Canterbury, but she's headed to Belmont University, and she actually led the state of Indiana in scoring this year. So at 5'5", she can shoot the three.
Right, 5'5", lightning quick guard who can fill it up. But have you ever seen a lady from Indiana who couldn't fill it up? I mean, these girls can all shoot. They all come and play at the highest level. And like you said, Maggard, second in vote getting for Miss Basketball in the state of Indiana.
The starters for the Kentucky All-Stars had been announced by the public address announcer. Macy Morris wearing that number 1 because she's Miss Basketball. She's 6 foot out of Bell County, averaged 26 points a game for the Bell County Lady Bobcats, and she's headed to UK, and Coach Matthew Mitchell raves about her offensive game.
Well, look, Gary, Macy Morris scored 3,368 points in her career. This is not just a good scorer. This is one of the greatest the state has ever seen. 6th in state history is Macy Morris in all-time scoring.
Jamie Walls, I believe, out of Highlands with 5,000-plus points. Is she still number 1 or number 2?
Still number 1.
Morgan Rich will start. She's out of Allen County, Scottsville. She's headed to Kentucky. Morgan Rich, I saw her play in the Houghton Girls Sweet 16, and Morgan Rich is an outstanding ball player. I mean, she does it all out there for her ball club. And her and Morris, speaking of Morgan Rich, they're teammates on that Premier team, so they've played together for 4 years.
Right. They've played on the Premier AAU team. They've played, just last month they played against Ohio through the Kentucky team. So they have a lot of knowledge of each other's game, and now, they'll be going to UK together next year.
Alexis Brewer is scheduled to start for the Kentucky All-Stars. She's 5'10" out of Bardstown, headed to West Virginia, and, of course, a lot of people know that name, Alexis Brewer.
That's right, from my hometown, Bardstown, Alexis Brewer, and I see her dad down there tonight. He's filling up his iPhone with all the pictures he can take, has done a great job, in his own right, coaching Bardstown.
Rihanna Cleaver scheduled to start for the Kentucky All-Stars. She is 6'2", out of Elizabethtown, played with, as we talked about, Aaron Boley on that E-Town team, number 1 team in the state, got it knocked off in the state tournament by Holy Cross. And Nora Kiesler is scheduled to start tonight as well, but we may see Ashanti Thomas for the Kentucky All-Stars. Rihanna Cleaver is going to jump it up. Ashanti Thomas is starting, along with Macy and Rich, and the other starter is Alexis Brewer. And jumping it up, it will be Victoria Gaines. She's headed to Michigan State, and the tap is controlled by Indiana coach. And Pat Berg, they're going to give it in the hands of Maggard. Maggard's going to run the offense.
Yep, Maggard's going to run the point. Kentucky man-to-man, and it's going to be Alexis Brewer on Maggard.
Maggard lines up to 3. Got it!
Well, just an on-ball screen for Maggard, and Maggard fills it up right off the start.
Showing why she led the state in scoring, huh? With the basketball, Alexis Brewer. She's headed to West Virginia out of Bardstown. Swinging over now to Macy Morris.
Maggard 5'5" on Macy. Macy has quite a height advantage there.
Rich's shot won't go. Battle down to Ashanti Thomas. Got a block from behind by Allen. Picked back up, though, by Ashanti Thomas. Good block by Allen, Coach.
Great block by Allen. Good job by Ashanti to stay with it.
And great defense by Indiana will cause a turnover. Give the ball back to the Indiana girls. They lead at 3-0 as Darby Maggard, the 5'5" guard out of Fort Wayne, came down, knocked down the 3 on the right side. It's 3-0. Indiana on top of the Kentucky All-Stars. Got the boys game coming up later tonight, Coach.
Yeah, well, this series right here is where you notice the defensive intensity of Indiana, and I think that's where the Kentucky teams have really lacked in the last few years.
Trying to set a pick as Ward. Maggard looking down low for the big girl. Gives it back out now to Ward. Ward kicks it over to Gaines. Down low they go now to Jenna Allen, trying to post up. Offensively, they give it now to Patberg. What are they trying to run offensively, Coach?
They're just moving the ball, taking what the defense gives them, and Kentucky defense steps up right there and gets the
Cleaver. Down low shot, put up and in. Nicely done by Brewer.
Nice job of Cleaver to draw the defender. Alexis Brewer runs the floor, puts it up and in, gets Kentucky on the board.
Indiana has that 1-point lead on the Maggard three-pointer. That's Miss Basketball Patberg. McDonald's All-American, wide open, lays it up and in.
Boy, that's just Allie Patberg playing off a screen, reading the defense so well. Ball down, head up, gets all the way to the rim. No one slides over. Patberg gets her first 2 points.
Only girl in the Indiana All-Stars headed to Notre Dame is Patberg. Brewer kicks it in the corner. Rich lines it up and in and out. Battle for it and pulled out of there by Gaines. Gaines leads it out now to Maggard. Maggard stops and pops. Off the rim, no. Nice rebound by Kentucky. Morse leads it out now. Rihanna Cleaver, she stops and missed the layup. Gets it back, though. Powers it, no. Shantae Thomas pulls it back down. Out of Lafayette, turns. That's short. And the ball tapped out of bounds. Let's see what the officials call. They're going to say Indiana basketball. Boy, a lot of good looks there, Coach, for Kentucky girls.
It sure was. Great fast break opportunity. Good jump stop. Layup doesn't go. Follows the shot, but I'll tell you, I think nerves might be playing a little bit of a role right now. Both teams really want to win this game. You know, Kentucky's tired of getting beat. They want to compete and look a little nervous right now.
Ward lost the handle on it, gives it up now to Victoria Gaines. Over to Patberg, open from about 10, and knocks it down. Second basket for Allie Patberg. She has 4 points, and Indiana leads by 5 now, 7-2.
Patberg with 4 of the 7. You can't leave her. She's a McDonald's All-American. If she has an inch of space, she'll knock it down.
Ball knocked away there by, they say, last touch by Kentucky as they were trying to go to Macy Morris. Maggard playing good defense over there on Macy.
Yeah, Maggard does a good job of getting in the passing lane, causes the pass to have to flare out of bounds. So 2 turnovers for Kentucky.
Now Patberg will run that point. Over to Maggard, right side. That's where she hit her 3 starting out the game. Gaines has it. Gaines looking down low to Ward. Ward back to Gaines. She kicks it over now to Allen, and Allen's shot won't go, and there's a rebound and picked up there by Rich. Morgan Rich bounces over to right side. Here's a shot lined up by Brewer. Off the mark, no. Rebounded, though, by Morgan Rich. Rich, a little fadeaway, and knocks it down. Boy, that was sweet. Morgan Rich, a little fadeaway.
Morgan Rich averages 20 points a game right there. She gets on the board, and just a great move. And Kentucky forcing Indiana into a bad pass by Allie Patberg. Throws it way over the head of her teammate. Ball goes back to Kentucky. So a little run here.
Shantae Thomas going out along with Cleaver. And checking in will be Turner, Morgan Turner out of Meade County, the all-time leading scorer in Meade County. And she checks into the ball game with Nora Kiesler, the big 6'6" girl out of Assumption, headed to Purdue.
That's right. And boy, what about Coach Scott Civils from Callaway County leading this Kentucky team, Gary? We watched them practice yesterday, and they were practicing like this was the state championship, and that's what you want to see.
Still by Indiana, driving down lane, missing the layup there is Sanders, and pulled out of there by Kentucky. That's Macy Moores. Morgan Turner's got it open from three, launches off the iron, rolls off, no. Good look there by Turner, rebounded by Indiana. That's Patberg wanting to push it. Allie Patberg hands it out top. They thought about it there was Zuri Sanders. Hook shot won't go there for Allen. Shot again won't roll there, but pulled out of there by Kentucky. Here come the Kentucky Girl All-Stars. That's Morgan Rich. Rich, little crossover, and rolls it up and in. Nice move there by Rich.
Wow, that was such a nice move. You think she's going to kick it to the corner, and she crosses over, keeps it in her left hand, and shoots a shot at an angle that would be really hard to defend, and gets this Kentucky team back within one.
Showing her versatility. She had a nice little fadeaway on that first shot, and that time she took it to the rack. Patberg gets it out top to Sanders. Down low, and shot rolled up and in there by big Jenna Allen, 6'3".
Boy, Jenna Allen just really tough, catches, turns, and takes Nora Kiesler right to the rim.
Out of Bedford North Lawrence, going to Michigan State, Jenna Allen. There's a shot, won't go for Brewer. Rebounded by Indiana. Allie Patberg's got it. Patberg cut off by Macy Morris. Dumps it down low, and there's a steal by Morgan Turner. Turner coming out of there with it. Turner, as we said, all-time leading rebounder and scorer in Meade County history. Kiesler to the basket, throws it off glass. Good, and she will get the basket and the and one. What a nice move there by Nora Kiesler out of Assumption.
Well, Jenna Allen takes Kiesler to the basket, and on this trip, Kiesler comes right back and says, I'm an all-star too. Takes Jenna Allen right to the rim and scores.
Got our first timeout of the ball game, 14:47 to go in the first half. It is Indiana leading 9-6. Here on PrepSpin.com, and we'll return after this timeout with more action here from the Beck Center.
Are you ready for a flavor favorite? Stop by a Subway restaurant for our tasty chicken salad sandwich, a delicious combination of chunks of juicy chicken blended with celery and creamy mayonnaise, all served on your choice of freshly baked bread. We like ours with lettuce, tomatoes, and onions, but you can top yours with any veggies you want. So try a delicious chicken salad sandwich and enjoy a real flavor favorite. But it's only here for a limited time. Add chips and a drink, and you've got a great meal. Subway, eat fresh.
And we're back at the Beck Center on the campus of Transylvania University with the Kentucky-Indiana All-Star basketball game. Gary Ball with former Tates Creek coach Justin Cheatham. And it's Indiana-Kentucky. Indiana jumped out early 7-2. What has Kentucky done, Coach, to get back in it?
Well, Gary, they forced Indiana in some turnovers and stepped up their defensive intensity. Morgan Rich leads Kentucky scorers with 4 points. You know, you get a few layups to fall. You start believing in your shot. But, you know, in these All-Star games, there's nerves to begin with. And there's a lot of offense. It's who's going to play defense.
Speaking of Kiesler at the line, who's going to try to complete this three-point play, she's going to be in this game with some girls she's going to be playing ball with up at Purdue. They got, 3 players from Indiana going to be playing with her at Purdue.
That's exactly right. Nora Kiesler, 6'6" from Assumption, going to Purdue. And quite a few. There's Tiara Murphy's going to Purdue. Lamina Cooper, who won't be playing tonight, but she is an Indiana All-Star, is also going to Purdue. So and Dominique McBride. So there's multiple Indiana All-Stars going to Purdue. And they'll see a lot of Nora Kiesler.
So at the line will be Nora Kiesler. She is out of Assumption High School, going to Purdue. Outstanding student, as you might well expect. And she can tie this game up with 14:47 to go here in this first half. And she rolls it in there. Nice soft touch by the big girl.
Kentucky putting on a little full court 2-2-1 pressure here.
Pat push off a little bit. They get it down low to Sanders to the basket and blocked, and the foul called. It was blocked by the athletic one. Dee Givens, showing her athleticism, headed to Western Kentucky out of Lafayette, but they say Givens got a piece of her, and the foul goes on Dee Givens.
Well, I'll tell you, Gary, that's something you don't see every day in an all-star game is a coach coming out of a timeout and saying, girls, we're pressing. And that's exactly what Kentucky's doing right now. They're putting on a full-court press. Kentucky came to win. Kentucky's tired of losing. This is a great Indiana team, and Coach Civils pulling out all the stops.
We're tied at 9, and the second free throw is too strong, but rebounded by Indiana, turning and scoring. Nicely done there by McCall Miller.
Yeah, Miller in off the bench right there. No one boxes out. Gets the board and put back. Gets Indiana right back up by 2.
Turner looking down low to Morris. So trying to get Macy going. She's double-teamed, triple-teamed to Turner. Back to Morris. Backing in. Macy off glass. Nice hook shot there by Macy Morris.
Well, that's Macy. That's Macy recognizing that the three-point shot's not there right now. She's being defended by a much smaller player.
Shot put up and in by Sanders on a great dish out top by Allie Patberg. Boy, she sees the floor well. 13-11, Indiana by 2, Coach.
Yeah, I'm really impressed also with how Zuri Sanders moves and all over the floor. She's very athletic, very intense player.
Lexus Brewer trying to go in the corner, knocked away by Ian. She's double-teamed, gets out of it to Morgan Turner. She skips it deep in the corner. Morris open from 3, off the mark. Rebounded, though, by Big Kiesler. Turns and puts it up, rolls in there. How about that for Nora Kiesler? Second basket. She's got 5 points, and we're tied again, Coach Cheatham, at 13. Patberg in the middle. Little floater off the mark, rebounded and knocked out of bounds. They say last touch by Kentucky. Good battle there by Tori Schickel, who just checked in. We're going to get back in. Maggard's going to come back in, and Patberg's going to go out for Indiana. Going out will be Macy Morris for the Kentucky All-Stars, and back in will be Morgan Rich. Indiana trouble getting it in. Finally go way out top to Tiara Murphy, who just checked in. That's the thing about these All-Star games. Everybody that's dressed is going to play.
Right. Everybody's a star. Everybody can score. Everybody is a threat.
Kiesler.
And so we get to see a lot of great players.
I'm liking this Kiesler girl from Assumption. She's got some game for 6'6". Here's a shot by Rich, and that's off the rim. No. Rebounded down low by Turner. Turner throws and can. And, of course, Coach Sybil's calling for the foul. His body's hit the floor. Now we're going to have a foul called, and it's going to go on Morgan Ridge. What did you think down there, Coach? Was Morgan Turner fouled?
Yeah, Morgan Turner came down with a really nice rebound, turned, and she had an arm wrapped across hers, but no call, and Kentucky continues to pick Indiana up full court and does commit the foul there.
We'll check the lineups for you here. It's Miller, and with the ball is Darby Maggard. She opened things up with a 3 on the right side. Now she penetrates, fakes with the ball, now kicks it in the corner to McCall Miller. Down they trying to go down low, and that's going to be a 3-second call as they try to go down low to Tori Schickel.
Well, you were exactly right. Darby Maggard started the game stepping off that screen to the right wing, knocking down the 3. Kentucky's adjusted their defense a little bit, stepping up there, communicating better. Maggard shows that she can penetrate off the dribble just as well and kicks to the corner, but Kentucky's defense holds again. Tie game, 13-all.
Sandra Skinner out of George Rogers, Clark County, headed to Virginia Commonwealth, checks in, and Kiesler out. Trouble with it out top is Rich, and it's stolen by Indiana. There comes Maggard with it. Darby stopping from 3 with the penetration. Miller has it out top now, and Indiana's going to run some offense. Of course, we've got to remind folks there is a shot clock in this game. It's down to 17 out top, and there's a shot put up and in by Sanders just inside the three-point line.
Well, again, now we've seen Zuri Sanders take it to the glass. We've seen her pick up some steals, and now we see her step back and knock down a 3.
She's going to play at Texas Tech. Good pass down low, but Skinner wasn't ready for it. There's D. Givens to the basket. Scoop, no. And there's Skinner sticking it up right. Left side, no. Battle for it, and the shot won't roll. Another opportunity with the rolls out of there for Skinner. And here comes Indiana. Boy, Kentucky had a great opportunity there. Bounce pass and the reverse how the glass rolls off. And picking it up is Maggard. Maggard hands it back to Zuri Sanders in the corner. And there's a 3, won't go. Battle for it, and Miller to the basket. Picked up, head and shoulder fake, too strong, tapped out. And, boy, a flurry of action here, but nobody's scoring.
Yeah, there needs to be a timeout taken, and the custodians need to come take the lids off the rim because it just got ugly. That was about 6 layups missed by Kentucky, 5 missed by Indiana. Finally, one of the –
Jordan France.
Was it Jordan France?
Knocked down the 3.
Knocked down the 3, so someone on somebody's team needs to see a shot go through the basket.
Rich throws it up off balance, draws the foul. There was a lot of contact there, and Rich threw it up with the left hand. She'll go to the line. 18-13, as we said, the big 3 by Jordan France just gave Indiana a 5-point lead, which equals their early 11:04 to go here in the first half. And, Coach, what do you think so far?
Well, I think that both teams really want to win. It appears that their both nerves are definitely in effect. And you know what? These ladies are not used to playing against another team of 5 players of equal stature. You know, you're used to playing high school ball where you're the star. There might be 2 other really good players on the other team. Well, this and the other all-star games that they've played are their only opportunities to play against all prime-time competition, and that's what we're seeing here. Everything's a struggle. Everything is a contest, and that's the learning curve that these ladies are going to be in now throughout the next year as they enter their freshman year in Division I college competition.
One thing I've noticed, though, the 2 superstars, Allie Patberg, the Gatorade Player of the Year, McDonald's All-American, Miss Basketball, Macy Morris, they're letting the game come to them. They're not forcing things. Patberg hit the one shot, the easy shot in the middle. Morris got the nice acrobatic shot, but they're not forcing things. They're letting the game come to them.
That's right. They're smart players. They're great athletes, and you can expect that they'll get their shots, but they're great competitors. And you know that right now they're making adjustments in their head on how they need to defend better.
Nora Kiesler came in and gave the Kentucky All-Stars a big lift, the big 6'6" center out of Assumption, headed to Purdue with 5 points, a couple of rebounds.
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, she leads all scorers with that 5 points and pulled down those boards, is running the floor well. And Nora Kiesler doing a great job. I'm sure the coaches at Purdue are just very excited to steal that one out of Kentucky.
Boys game coming up after this one, and what do you expect in that Kentucky-Indiana boys game later tonight, Coach?
Oh, wow. I mean, just watching the Kentucky guys practice this week, doing our research on the Indiana, it just, what a bunch of amazing athletes. I expect a lot of offense. Traditionally the game's scored in the high 90s. Indiana has scored over 100 points the last 2 years, so you can expect a lot of points to be scored.
Morgan Rich, who knocked down the free throw, she has 5 points now and make it 6. Look good on those 2 free throws. Morgan headed to UK out of Allen County, Scottsville, and it's 18-15. Indiana's lead cut to 3. Gary Ball with Coach Justin Cheatham, William Warfield, and all the first-string media guys. Big production here today. Here's a turnover. That's right. Good call as Jenna Allen turned it over. I'm not sure why the 6'3" Bedford North Lawrence product was trying to handle the ball there like a point guard.
Yeah, well, Kentucky didn't give up on their press. Indiana got it across half court, continued to put the pressure on, forces Indiana into a turnover. So that's the little spark that they needed coming out of that timeout.
We had a Cleaver in out of E-Town, going out Turner out of Meade County, checking out. Dee Gibbons gets it into Morgan Rich. You got Macy Morris back in there with Rihanna Cleaver and Sandra Skinner out of Clark County. Down low, Skinner posting up. Skinner turns and scores. Nice move by Skinner.
Boy, very nice move by Skinner. Comes back, sees the rim well, squares up, gets Kentucky back within 1.
Indiana trouble getting in a long pass to Allen. She kicks it in the corner. France's 3 won't go this time. There's Dee Gibbons, and she got a hand on it, but picking it up will be Darby Maggard there for Indiana All-Stars. Indiana in the white, Kentucky in the blue. Indiana the red, of course. That's what's new.
Yep.
If you're Kentucky, you got to wear blue, right, Coach?
That's exactly right.
18-17. That's France with us. She knocked down the 3 earlier. And here's going to be a whistle away from the ball, and it's going to be a foul against Indiana.
Yeah, I think that's going to go against Brittany Ward, away from the ball, moving screen. So Kentucky picks up, that's 2 turnovers since that timeout by Coach Civil. So good job by the Kentucky defense to get right back in it, and they can take the lead here.
At what point, if you're Indiana coach Mark Holt, do you get Allie Patberg back in there, Coach?
Well,
it's an all-star game.
Yeah, it's an all-star game.
Moore stops from 15, up to front of the iron, no. Rebounded, though, by Skinner. Second time she's done that. Back to Macy Morris. Kicks it in the corner. Dee Gibbons, long 3. Off the mark, no. And then rebounded for Indiana, Alexa Bailey. Of course, she is the daughter, and she turned it over. Alexa's the daughter of the legendary Damon Bailey, the phenom out of Indiana that played at IU, was one of the all-time leading scorers in the state of the Indiana State, and she's going to play at Butler. Alexa Bailey.
Well, Gary, we just saw Morgan Rich force Indiana into their 3rd turnover here since that timeout. So Kentucky picking it up defensively.
Can take the lead here, Coach. Down 18-17. Could take their first lead of the ball game. With it is Rich trying to dump it down low. Saved by Skinner again. Here's Skinner out top. 18-footer. Bullseye.
Skinner 4 points here of late. We saw her make the nice play. In close, there, turns and has space, knocks down the shot. And look at the Kentucky girls talking on defense right now.
They have the lead, 19-18 to Kentucky All-Stars. Pass almost down low with it, turning off glass. Good, nicely done by Allen.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the danger. You can only press a group of all-stars for so long because they're great ball handlers. They'll figure out your press, and they'll be scoring layups.
Rich lost the handle on it, picks it back up. She'll be playing at UK. Rich way out top. Morgan looking. Kicks it in the corner now to Asia Sims out of Bourbon County. Spinning down low. Here's a turn. Cleaver missed it. Batted around and picked up by Indiana All-Stars Jenna Allen. Long pass. They throw it right back to Kentucky, though. Asia Sims has got it. Comes Sims the other way. Straight move to the basket. Missed the layup. And over the back as Bailey got the rebound. Over her back's going to be Skinner. Yeah, some substitutions. We talked about Patberg. Well, she's back in now along with Victoria Gaines. Going out will be France, who knocked down the three, and Jenna Allen. And Kentucky coming back with Alexis Brewer. Brewer back in there. So let's check the lineup for you for the Kentucky All-Stars. You have Macy Morris, Brewer, Skinner, Rihanna Cleaver, and also it looks like Asia Sims. Yep, Asia Sims.
Well, what a good job Indiana has done so far tonight on Macy Morris, our Miss Basketball.
Maggard can get the three to go. And speaking of Macy, Miss Basketball, she's got the rebound. Double team, gets rid of it in the middle to Sims. Asia to the basket's got an open basket, lays it up and knocked it down. Boy, nice job of Sims to take it to the rack.
That's right. Well, she took it all the way in there the last time, didn't get the layup to fall. Does it again, gets it to fall this time, gives Kentucky its first lead in quite a while, Gary, 21-20.
Patberg to the basket, drawing the contact and the foul. So Allie Patberg drawing the foul. Also took a little knee-on-knee there. 21-20, under 8 minutes to go. Ashante Thomas up set to check in for the Kentucky All-Stars. We got a timeout on the floor. Kentucky leading Indiana here in the girls All-Star game at the Beck Center on the campus of Transylvania, 21-20. We'll come back here on Prep Spin and tell you more about the boys game coming up a little bit later tonight here on Prep Spin after this timeout.
Are you ready for a flavor favorite? Stop by a Subway restaurant for our tasty chicken salad sandwich, a delicious combination of chunks of juicy chicken blended with celery and creamy mayonnaise, all served on your choice of freshly baked bread. We like ours with lettuce, tomatoes, and onions, but you can top yours with any veggies you want. So try a delicious chicken salad sandwich and enjoy a real flavor favorite. But it's only here for a limited time. Add chips and a drink, and you've got a great meal. Subway, eat fresh.
Allie Patberg will be at the line for the Indiana All-Stars. Coming up later tonight, it'll be interesting to see if Beetle Bolden's able to make it. He wasn't at practice much this week out of Covington Holmes. Beetle Bolden, the point guard for that Kentucky All-Star team.
Right, with the Kentucky team having lost 19 out of 20, it'll be interesting to see how they can come together this week. Practiced usually with 5 to 6. I think the most they ever had at a practice was 8 of their 13 players. So it'll be, sure it'll be fun, but can Kentucky pull it together having not practiced together all week?
Allie Patberg was able to knock down the second free throw. It's tied at 21 all here. 7:46 to go here in the first half. Gary Ball, Coach Justin Cheatham here on Prep Spin with the Bluegrass Sports Commission. Ball knocked away, picked up finally by Macy Morris. Morris out of Bell County, Miss Basketball, going to Kentucky. Stops, cut off, gives it out to Shante Thomas. Ball picked up and whistle foul called. Is streaking out of there with it for the Indiana All-Stars was Tiara Murphy.
Yeah, but Indiana All-Stars definitely stepped up their defensive intensity right there. Forced Macy Morris into a bad pass. She knew it. Came right back, tried to get the steal, couldn't get it. But a lot of credit to Indiana right there. Kentucky's come back. Indiana's now stepping up their defensive intensity.
And Madeline Raster for the first time has checked in for the Indiana All-Stars for Alexa Bailey. Indiana All-Stars have the basketball in the white, and we're tied at 21 all. Backdoor they try to go. Ball knocked away by Macy Morse. Good defense there on Raster, and they're pushing it now. They kick it in the corner, and along diving over the table over there is Alexis Brewer. Out of bounds, give it back to Indiana. I'm going to get Morgan Turner, Rich, and Cameron McPherson out of Danville. First time for McPherson in the game. So the Kentucky All-Stars going with Morgan Rich. They've got Cameron McPherson, Ashanti Thomas, Morgan Turner, and Alexis Brewer. That's your 5 for Kentucky.
Had a chance to talk to Cameron McPherson yesterday at practice, and she talked about how these two teams squared off last year in the Junior All-Star game. They lost by 30 once, but then lost only by 3, so they feel that they can really compete with this Indiana team.
Hook shot won't go there for Indiana. Out of bounds. Last touch by Indiana. They're going to give it to Kentucky. We are tied at 21 all here in the Kentucky-Indiana All-Star game at Transylvania. Crowd starting to pick up a little bit here as we get past 6 o'clock here in Central Kentucky. A lot of traffic out there today, I understand.
Yeah, quite a bit of traffic, a lot of congestion.
Moving pick set there, Coach, is what they call it, a moving pick against Kentucky. Turner picked it up.
Yeah,
that is 16 fouls against Kentucky, only 3 against Indiana.
Score's been at 21-21 for quite a while. 6:30 to go here in the first half, and both teams just trying to get something going offensively.
Pat Berg out top, Murphy. Murphy to the basket, knocked away there, picked up off glass, rolls off. There's Ashanti Thomas battling, and shot wouldn't roll there for Brittany Ward. Had point-blank shot. Ward could not believe it didn't go.
Yeah, a lot of layups missed in this game so far, but it's because everything's contested. You know, every shot has been contested, so it's a credit to both teams' defensive pressure.
Scott Civils up off his bench for the Kentucky All-Stars. Ball on the floor, picked up, Gaines. Leads it out now to Ward. Ward to the basket, lays it up and in.
Wow. Brittany Ward, 6'1", headed to Butler, runs the floor really well, finishes that fast break off strong.
Pass down low, Ashanti Thomas, and she turns and hooks and rolls out of there. Ball tapped out. Ashanti Thomas had a good look. She'll play her college basketball, Ashanti will, at Penn State this coming fall.
Yep, 2 of the Lafayette Lady Generals here on this team, Ashanti Thomas and Dee Givens, both making the All-Star team for Kentucky.
Ashanti Thomas, right side, and hands it deep in the corner to the basket. It's McPherson. Nice move by Cam McPherson. She laid it up and in.
5'4", shortest girl on either team, takes it all the way to the rim and gets the finish. Great job there by Cameron McPherson.
Pat Berg working on Morgan Rich. Rich, a good defender. Pat Berg going to, of course, Notre Dame. Rich at Kentucky. Indiana's shot won't go there for Gaines, and Kentucky comes out of there with they push it out now to Brewer. She stops right side and too strong. Rebounded by Indiana. Allen taking it strong to the basket. Contact call, Coach.
Yep, going to get the foul there on, I believe, Ashanti Thomas. So that will be Brittany Ward going to the free throw line, and Coach Scott Civils is going to take a 30-second timeout right here. And
back to the game tonight with the boys. Of course, Indiana boys are led by their outstanding player, Ryan Klein. He is out of Carmel. He's going to Purdue. 21 points coming in. In their game against the Junior All-Stars the other night, he pumped in 25 points. And the Kentucky All-Stars, Simmons has been impressive in practice. And the kid out of DuPont Manual that we saw in practice has been impressive, too, when you talk about Dwayne Sutton.
That's right. Dwayne Sutton just in practice and in a scrimmage against some local former college players. Dwayne Sutton just looked so much more mature. So much more mature than your normal, 18-year-old high school senior.
So it'd be interesting to see if James Beetle Bolden, the point guard, plays tonight. He's supposed to be here tonight for the Kentucky All-Stars. And like I said, Indiana loaded once again. They've got, 3 times as many Division I players as we do in Kentucky?
Yeah. Well, Brittany Ward knocks down that first free throw, so it gives Indiana the lead back. So we've seen multiple lead changes here in this first half. Good on the second. And checking back in will be Zuri Sanders. I'm telling you, this young lady came in earlier and gave a spark to Indiana. She's tough defensively. She can run the floor. We saw her go inside. We saw her go out.
5:04 to go here in the first half. 25-23, Indiana on top. Kentucky with the ball. Brewer, and a bad pass in the corner trying to go to Rich and turn it over to Indiana. We're going to get in for Kentucky. Janaea Hall out of Apollo, going to play at Austin Peay University, checks in for her first All-Star action. Allie Patberg brings it across for the Indiana All-Stars. 26-point average, lines to three, high archer, bullseye.
Boy, Allie Patberg left wide open. That's her 8th point. She now leads all scorers for Indiana. It was really her defense at the other end that forced Kentucky into that turnover, comes down and gets some space, and you just can't leave an All-American that much room.
Brewer going baseline, and coming in with the rejection is Tiara Murphy. All 5'5" of her.
Yeah, not a bit intimidated, was she? Tiara Murphy knocks that one right out of bounds.
Dee Givens is going to check in for the Kentucky All-Stars, and going out will be McPherson. Cameron got that nice lay-in. She'll check out, and Dee Givens back in. Also, Nora Kiesler's back in there. She's been a big cog. Down low, Kiesler gets it, and she's going to be fouled by Indiana's Sanders.
Yeah, that was great work there by Nora before the pass to seal off. You're either going to get that pass and you're going to score, or you're going to get fouled, and that's exactly what happened. It's well executed by Kentucky.
Darby Maggard back in for the Indiana girls, and Patberg out. Givens way out to Kiesler. Kiesler hands it off to Alexis Brewer. Gets a pick. 15-footer short front of the iron. No, rebounded Indiana. Coming out of there with it is Darby Maggard. Long pass knocked away. Good hands there by Hall. They go back to Indiana. They lead it 28-23, 4-13, Coach, here in the first half.
Yeah, Janaea Hall, great job there defensively, jumping that passing lane, showing some energy there off the bench. Had a lot of fun talking to her yesterday at practice, too. Just a nice young lady. She's headed to Austin Peay, going to play her college basketball.
Maggard, right side, cut off by Hall, goes out now to Miller. Hands it, and a shot won't go there for Allen. Coming out there with it, Dee Givens. Givens, and she's knocked to the floor hard and hit her elbow a little bit, but she's going to be okay. And that is the 5th team foul against Indiana. The Kentucky girls All-Stars have already committed 17 fouls, Coach. So a bonus situation already for Indiana. That's only the 5th team foul against Indiana. So 3:56 to go. Timeout on the floor with the Indiana All-Stars leading Kentucky All-Stars 28-23. We'll return here to the Beck Center on the campus of Transylvania University. We'll return after this timeout.
Nice job today.
Thanks, Coach.
Proud of you. We'll get back at it tomorrow.
Are they under PA announcements? PA announcements?
If we lose focus on the field, it could cost us a penalty or even the game. If you lose focus behind the wheel by texting and driving, it costs you a fine or worse, your life. Big Blue Nation, don't text and drive.
Are you ready for a flavor favorite? Stop by a Subway restaurant for our tasty chicken salad sandwich, a delicious combination of chunks of juicy chicken blended with celery and creamy mayonnaise, all served on your choice of freshly baked bread. We like ours with lettuce, tomatoes, and onions, but you can top yours with any veggies you want. So try a delicious chicken salad sandwich and enjoy a real flavor favorite. But it's only here for a limited time. Add chips and a drink, and you've got a great meal. Subway, eat fresh.
And the Bluegrass Sports Commission is proud to manage the Kentucky-Indiana All-Star Classic. The Bluegrass Sports Commission is responsible for recruiting, growing, executing, and attracting sporting events to Central Kentucky to improve quality of life and economic impact. This is the Kentucky-Indiana Girls All-Star Game, and Coach Cheatham, right now the Indiana All-Stars have a 5-point lead, and Kentucky does have the ball, and they lose it. Indiana with the outlet pass as they lead it out to Murphy. She dumps it to Allen Glasnow, gets it back, and powers it up, block. And coming down with it, and that's Schickel, and she's going to be fouled.
Murphy showing some sweet ball handling skills right there. completing that spin move and that pass. Indiana able to pull down the offensive board and get back to the free throw line. Who is that? That's Schickel going to go to the free throw line, try to extend the Indiana lead. You know, Kentucky fought back, came back from about 6 down, took a 1-point lead. It sat there for 21, what, it was 21-21 all for a while, then 22-21, and now Indiana again has forced Kentucky into numerous turnovers on these last multiple possessions.
Tori Schickel, though, missed the front of that bonus, an opportunity to extend that lead. 28-23, Indiana. Rich to D. Givens. Givens a little floater, no, and pulled down. Nice rebound there by big Jenna Allen. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on Rich, as trying to work it in the front court for Indiana was McCall Miller.
Yeah, Rich trying to pick up McHale Miller right there on the around half court, and McHale just a little bit too quick.
Jordan France out of Northwood. She's headed to St. Louis. She had a 3 in the first part of the ball game when she came in out of the corner and knocked it down. 28-23 at the line, Indiana, and that's Miller up there, and she got it. Lead is 6 for Indiana.
Asia Sims comes back in for Kentucky. Asia had that good drive.
He's going with the bigs right now. He's got Coach Civils. He's got Nora Kiesler and Ashante Thomas in there
That's
right
right.
now. Same time, 6'6", 6'4". Free throw miss. And there's a rebound by Kiesler. She have to even jump for that. Just extended those big arms. Sims looking. Hands it to Givens. Ball knocked away by – no, they said that went off of D. Givens, kind of nonchalant there, and good defense by Miller of Indiana.
Yeah, the intensity there of the Indiana defender just not matched by D. Givens' intensity, and ball goes out of bounds, and another turnover for Kentucky.
Morgan Turner out of Meade County back in for the Kentucky girls. She's back in there, as you said, Asia Sims in. And also Rihanna Cleaver back in for the Kentucky All-Stars. In the middle with it, Allen. Turnaround shot won't go there for Schickel. Coming out of there with it, Kentucky. Lead it out to Brewer, Lexus Brewer. Penetrating into the paint, strong move, no. And rebounded by Schickel. Schickel leads it out to Maggard. Three-pointer out of the left side. That's off the iron there for Indiana's Miller. Battle on the floor, and it's going to be Kentucky ball on the possession arrow, Coach. 29-23. The Kentucky girls have gone on a little bit of a dry spell here.
Quite a dry spell, Gary, and, credit Indiana's defense. And, offensively, Indiana is just really moving the ball much better around the court. Seem to be much more comfortable in their offensive sets right now.
Sims, ball stripped away there by Miller. Miller is going to Arizona down the lane. Dumps it to Allen. Allen turns in traffic, no. Double team, throws it up again, no. And finally coming out of there with it is Kentucky, and I think Rihanna Cleaver had enough of that.
Yep, Cleaver continues to fight for it and gets that rebound.
Sims. Givens thought about the 3. Back to Sims, open from the baseline. Launches off the iron, no. And the Kentucky girls, again, cold from the field right now, down 29-23, minute 49 in the first half.
Yeah, and that three-point look that Sims just had deep in the corner was about the best look Kentucky's had in the last 5 minutes.
Maggard's long 3, back of the rim, no. Nice rebound by Turner.
Good box out there by Morgan Turner.
Out of Meade County. Can play 3, 4, or 5. Here's D. Givens with the basket. Scoop and score.
Great job. Great awareness there by D. Givens. The only defender, 5'5", D. Givens uses her athleticism, gets all the way to the rim.
Proceeds from tonight's game go to the Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation under the leadership of Lions Clubs of Kentucky. The Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation staff and volunteers across the Commonwealth work to fulfill the mission of preventing and curing blindness by performing free vision screenings, supporting eye research, and operating an eye bank. To learn more about Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation and how you can get involved, please visit www.kylionseye.org. Also, the Bluegrass State Games presented by Subway Restaurants. It's a nonprofit program sponsored privately to promote amateur athletic across the Commonwealth. It's a signature event of the Bluegrass Sports Commission, designed to provide Kentuckians of all ages and skill levels a wholesome avenue for positive development through sports and physical activity. Bluegrass State Games are awesome. With over 30 different sports offered, there truly is something for everyone. Find out more at bgsg.org. some of our sponsors here tonight. Gary Ball with former Tates Creek girls coach Justin Cheatham, William Warfield, First String Media, girls and Kentucky, Indiana girls basketball all-stars here tonight at Transylvania University, the Beck Center. 29-25, Indiana by 4. Pass goes through the legs, picked up, though, to the baskets, high off the glass. No, on the left side there, Raster, and picked up by Allie Patberg, who's back in there now, Miss Basketball Gatorade Player of the Year for state of Indiana, going to Notre Dame. Stops, good move, and the shoulder fake glass, no. Battle for it, and we're going to have a reaching foul as there was a battle going on there with Schickel, Tori Schickel, and they're going to call the foul. And it's going to go on Kentucky's Alexis Brewer, Coach.
Yeah, that was a sweet move there. Allie Patberg playing off the screen. They like to run that screen right off the elbow, and Allie Patberg crosses back over, makes a really nice move, and Schickel pulls down the board, and then gets kind of pulled down by one of the Kentucky players, and she'll go to the free throw line. So 25-29, 52 seconds. Kentucky had a 1-point lead around the 6-minute mark, and Indiana pushed it right back.
Tori Schickel able to rattle in that second one. 30-25, Indiana All-Stars lead to the Kentucky All-Stars by 5. And it's been a pretty game, Coach, but like you said, defense has been a premium. I mean, we've had 55 points total scored here in the first half of a 20-minute game. That's Macy Morris. She'll try to get on track to the basket. No, and a charge called on Macy Morris.
What great recognition by Madeline Raster. She sees Macy Morris driving. Raster steps in there and takes the charge. And again, great defense by Indiana.
Dee Gibbons back in, going out. Macy Morris, who just picked up that charge. 30-25. The lead belongs to Indiana with 42 seconds here, 30-second shot clock, so Kentucky girls will still have ample time, Coach, even if Indiana scores here up 5. That's Victoria Gaines. She started the ball game. Hasn't played a whole lot, really, other than she started. Patberg, left side free throw line extended, looking for Raster. Patberg now working into the paint area. Patberg looking down low now, skips it over to Raster. Madeline back to Patberg, down to 5 seconds on the shot. She might have got away with a travel. No, the official right there saying you traveled. She did not get away with it.
Didn't get away with it. Kentucky forces Indiana into another turnover, and see if Kentucky can capitalize here and maybe go into halftime only down 2, possibly 3.
Full court press being deployed now by Indiana. Good wraparound dribble by Brewer. Brewer down the right side. Alexis looking. Comes out now to Cleaver. Cleaver to the basket, throws it up, and we're going to have a traveling call on Cleaver.
Yeah, so 2 travels in a row, one by Patberg and now by Cleaver. And I hate to think how many turnovers we've had in this half, but
well, we'll try to get in a stat sheet at halftime.
I'm not sure we want a stat sheet.
Across the line, Indiana. Stopping is Raster, short. No, we're headed to the locker rooms at halftime with Indiana leading 30-25 in a sloppily played first half. No other way to slice it or dice it, Coach.
Absolutely no other way. Both teams really giving a good effort defensively, but offenses both ends have been a mess.
30-25, Indiana leads by 5 here. We'll come back. We're trying to get some numbers and tell you about the first half, tell you more about the Kentucky-Indiana Boys All-Star Game coming up later tonight. We're at the Clive Beck Center on the campus of Transy here, the Kentucky-Indiana All-Star Game. We also want to tell you more about some of the Lions Club of Kentucky, been good, proud supporters of the Kentucky-Indiana Lions All-Star Classic since day one. With nearly 200 clubs throughout the Commonwealth, there is sure to be Lions clubs serving a neighborhood near you. Our mission is simple. We serve. If you're looking for ways to get involved in your community or interested in learning more about the Lions Club, please talk with a Lions Club member in attendance tonight. Kentucky-Indiana All-Stars, and it's 30-25 here at halftime. We'll be back here on Prep Spin with halftime action here at the Beck Center.
The 2015 Mr. Kentucky basketball recipient is Cameron Justice from Knott County Central. Unfortunately, Cameron cannot be with us. Cameron was the third leading scorer with 3,588 points in Kentucky history and ranked third in 3 quarters with 393. He led the Patriots to 4 consecutive state tournaments. Cameron signed with Vanderbilt University, where he is already enrolled. Today, we have Mr. Herman, the 1954 Mr. Kentucky basketball, accepted the win on Cameron's behalf. We wish Cameron the best of his endeavors, and may he bear this name with pride and appreciation of having become a member of the fraternity of Mr. Kentucky basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Herman.
Statue from, they're right down there. See him? The red shirt right there. That's the statue. Red shirt, black guy. Can we get a... And we're back at the Beck Center, the campus of Transylvania University with the Kentucky-Indiana Girls All-Star Basketball game. We're at halftime, 30-25. The Indiana girls lead with Coach Justin Cheatham, Gary Ball. And, Coach, how about those first half numbers? They say numbers don't lie.
Well, Gary, the stat of the night so far has been turnovers. For Indiana, 10 turnovers in that first half. For Kentucky, 15. So you're looking at, for Kentucky, 25 points, 15 turnovers. Going to be tough to win if you don't start handling the ball a little bit better. 25 turnovers overall. Hopefully the nerves have settled and both teams can come out and handle the ball, execute their offensive sets a little bit better. For scoring for Indiana, it was Brittany Ward with 4 points, Jenna Allen with 4, Allie Patberg, the All-American, 8 points. Darby Maggard hit that first 3 in the first 20 seconds of the game, and then Kentucky did a better job defensively on her, 3 points. And Jordan Franz hit that 3 out of the corner. Mikhail Miller, 3 points. Zuri Sanders with 4. And Tori Schickel with 1. For Kentucky, Macy Morris missed basketball, 2 points. Morgan Rich, 6 points. Alexis Brewer, 2 points. Cameron McPherson, 2 points. Asia Sims, 2 points. Dee Givens, 2 points. Sandra Skinner, 4. And Nora Kiesler came off the bench and just did a great job. Pulled down 3 rebounds and 5 points. And that rounds out Kentucky's 25 points. But if you look at three-point shooting,
it's been horrendous.
Definitely a concern for Kentucky. They are 0 for 7, and you've got great shooters on this team. But you know what? Everyone's a great shooter until the defense steps up. And when you face the kind of defensive pressure that Indiana's putting on, then you know what? It's much harder to score.
One positive, Coach. Kentucky did out-rebound Indiana, if you're looking for positives for the Kentucky girls, 30-25. And Morgan Turner out of Meade County led them with 5 rebounds.
Right, well, Morgan Turner, we saw her in practice do a great job, showed a lot of intensity, and led Meade County all-time leading rebounder, and so it's not surprising that she's leading rebounds here tonight.
Maggard, Darby on the left side, cut off by Ashanti Thomas. Down low, knocked away by Rich. Ball saved in, picked up there by Allen, Jenna Allen, and here comes Kentucky with it. Alexis Brewer. Morris to her right, drives down, lays it up and in. She had an option to dish it off to Macy, but Brewer laid it up and in.
Yeah, probably the best decision there by Brewer to keep it. You're being defended there. 2-on-1 by a lady who's 5'5", so just keep it, eliminate the chance of losing the handle on the pass, and finish the layup.
Victoria, they get it back to Allie Patberg. She goes base, knocked away by Shantae Thomas. Good defense there by Shantae Thomas out of Lafayette, going to play her college ball at Penn State. Kentucky girls in the blue, Indiana in the white with the red trim, and it's 30-27. A pretty good start here for Kentucky in the transition there on a nice finish by Brewer.
Right, that's exactly what Kentucky needed to start this half.
Long pass out top. Good defense there, but picked up by Indiana. And there's a shot rolls off for Allen. And we're whistling a foul call. Ashanti Thomas and Macy Morris were there. Let's see if they whistle for that. By the way, the officials in tonight's game, I don't think we set them in the first half. You got Alicia Cukes, Ryan Durham, and Tim Cartwright. Those are our officials in tonight's Kentucky-Indiana Girls All-Star game. Here's a steal by the Kentucky All-Stars. And with the ball's Morgan Rich. She had 6 points, and she's had trouble in backcourt. Now leads it out to Macy Morris. She'll play with Morgan Rich at UK next year, this coming fall, this season. Bounce past Shantae Thomas, posting up. Thomas goes in on the big girl Allen and lays it, missed the layup, and rebounded by Indiana's Jenna Allen, and then a whistle and a foul call.
Well, that was about the best post move we've seen all night by any of these exceptional post players. But again, just not able to get her eyes up on her target and finish that layup, and that's really been a crutch for post players on both teams this evening.
Darby Maggard out of Fort Wayne, Canterbury, going to Belmont University down in Nashville. Lob down low to Jenna Allen, posting up backdoor, laid up and in by Brittany Ward.
Brittany Ward does a great job. Give and go, runs the baseline, gets rewarded, puts back. Nice job by Indiana.
Ball knocked away by Patberg as she steals it from Alexis Brewer. It's got a 3-on-1. Patberg, good dish left side. Missed the layup, though. Ward coming out of there with it, Kentucky. Long pass to Rich. Morgan crossover, stops in 10-footer, all rolls off and rebounded by Patberg. Allie Patberg, the Gatorade Player of the Year, McDonald's All-American, leads it down low. Gaines up and in. Indiana picking up the pace, Coach.
Yeah, good clean finish there by Indiana on that layup, and what a great passer. Have you noticed Allie Patberg sees the floor so well. She can go right, left, sees everything. Great pass there by Patberg.
Morgan Rich going to UK, as we said, out of Allen County, Scottsville. Ball kicked away there by Indiana. We're going to have a couple of subs in. Morgan Turner and also Sandra Skinner come in. Ashante Thomas and Cleaver check out for Coach Scott Civils, the head coach of, Callaway County.
Callaway County,
Yep.
that's right.
Yep.
Head coach at Callaway County has done a great job in preparation
Great
for this
guy.
game. Absolutely giving it his best.
He got on me a couple years ago. He said when I called the state tournament, I called him
Seville.
Seville's, and he said I went
Seville.
back to school and there I was a Cadillac Seville. That was my new nickname.
Well, hopefully we're not mispronouncing anybody's names tonight.
That's right. We want to get it right. Thanks for tuning in tonight on Prep Spin, watching this game in HD. Macy Morris to the basket and rattles it in. Nice move there by Macy Morris.
Macy Morris now with her 6th point, I believe.
34-29, Indiana by 5, and as we start second half action. Allie Patberg penetrate. Patberg looking, dumps it down low. Good pass, and the shot missed there by Allen, but stuck back up and in the second opportunity.
Yeah, good defense at the start, but no box out.
Got to finish.
Leads to an Indiana offensive rebound, and they put it back in and extended their lead now to 7.
Kentucky All-Stars trying to get on track. They have not hit a three-pointer. Brewer has it blocked, and good block there by the big girl Jenna Allen at 6'3", headed to Michigan State. Here's shot won't go, stuck back no, as Gaines there battling and getting some help from her teammate there for the Indiana Girls All-Stars, and a foul's going to be called, and that will send to the line. It will be Brittany Ward. She's out of Indianapolis Pike High School going to Butler. Good to see a lot of these in-state girls for these teams going to their, like Butler's if you're Indiana, Kentucky, two of our big players, Rich and Macy Morris, both going to UK.
Yeah, Morgan Rich was Matthew Mitchell's first, I believe, commitment of 2015, and when she was being heavily recruited by teams like Connecticut. I mean, we're talking UConn, we're talking Louisville. And she tweeted out the day she committed, she said Kentucky girls belong in Kentucky. So it's neat to see those Kentucky kids staying at Kentucky schools, the Indiana kids staying at Indiana schools. And
38-29, and Kentucky has the ball. They swing it back out now to Turner out of Meade County. Good pass down low, and a finish there by Rich.
Boy,
what a dish by Turner.
What a pass by Turner. What a finish by Rich. And she had Jenna Allen on her and really had to stretch out. Got the finish.
Knocked away. Good defense by Morris. Morris with a bust out. Gaines back, though. Here's Morris taking it to the basket, and Gaines might have altered her shot a little bit. Here's a long pass out to Allie Patberg with Skinner getting back. Patberg to the basket, dumps it left side, laid up and in by Ward. What an assist by Patberg.
Patberg is as good of a passer as she is anything. I mean, I'm so impressed with her court vision, her ability to pass the ball.
Skinner crossing over there on Allen. Shot won't go, rebounded by Allen. Leads it out to Patberg. Indiana making a run here behind Allie Patberg. She stops from about 17. Bullseye.
Yeah, Allie Patberg really in a rhythm right now.
And Indiana's stretched their lead out, Coach, to 11, the largest lead they've had. And as we said, they've really picked up their defensive intensity here in the first 4 minutes and 15 seconds of the second half.
Yeah, they sure have. The largest lead in the first half was 6 points, and now it's up to 11, so looks like Kentucky's going to go ahead and take a full timeout here.
Full timeout, 15:45 to go in the ball game, 42-31. The Bluegrass State Games presented by Subway Restaurants, a nonprofit program sponsored privately to promote amateur athletics across the Commonwealth. It's a signature event of the Bluegrass Sports Commission designed to provide Kentuckians of all ages and skill levels a wholesome avenue for positive development through sports and physical activity. With over 30 different sports offered, there truly is something for everyone. Find out more at bgsg.org. Gary Ball, Coach Justin Cheatham, former Tate's Creek girls coach, and it's a Kentucky-Indiana All-Star game. It was a 5-point game at halftime, but Indiana's really picked up everything, their defense, their transition, and they've now extended out to 11-point lead, their largest lead.
Right now an 11-point lead, and Allie Patberg, the All-American, really in a groove right now, passing the ball well. Stop and pop right there on that last possession. Drains the short jumper, and she now has 10 points for Indiana. And Brittany Ward also with 10 points. So 2 players there for Indiana in double figures for Kentucky. Morgan Rich leads all scorers for Kentucky with 8 points. So
we'll have about a 20-minute intermission between games, and we'll come back with the boys game tonight. It'll be the Kentucky boys and the Indiana All-Stars, and looking forward to that one. Kentucky boys led by a host of people, but we both really like David Simmons, of course, Matt Rose out of Lexington Christian, Beetle Bolden, Peyton Woods out of Wayne County. You got Evan Hall out of Knott County Central, Dwayne Sutton out of Manual. Eric Holman is expected to be here tonight. Justin Miller has looked good in practice, and Indiana led by Ryan Klein headed to Purdue. And also they've got McDermott. Teague had a good game for him the other night, Coach, in their scrimmage.
Well, Kentucky comes out of that timeout trying to post up Morgan Turner. Asian Sims tries to make the entry pass, but good defense there by Alexa Bailey, getting a foot on it, knocking it out of bounds. So ball stays here with Kentucky, though.
Kiesler, who's back in, they dump it down low. There's Rich turning off Glasnow, and picked up, coming out of there with it is Indiana. Patberg working across on D. Givens. Patberg kind of willing her way, stops from about 10. That's off, no good. Gets her own miss, throws it up, no, and a foul's going to be called. And I think it's going to go on Kiesler of Assumption, who's going to play at Purdue next year.
Yeah, and in this run by Indiana, that's the third time where they've had a second chance opportunity where the first shot didn't go. No one for Kentucky, boxed out. Indiana gets the offensive rebound and then make something happen offensively.
Patberg, who averaged 26 points, won a state championship for Columbus North. That's where they played the scrimmage game the other night against the Junior All-Stars, was at Columbus North. And she said she got really emotional going back to her old high school where she said it all started for the McDonald's All-American. Knocks them both down. She's a player. 44-31. She leads everybody with a dozen. We still have 15-15 to play here. And Kentucky All-Stars need to get the offense going, Coach, because they're down 13 now. Rich over to Givens. There's Turner, lost a handle on it. Picked up, coming out of there with it is Indiana. Patberg stops for 15. Bullseye. Allie Patberg now with 14, and the lead is 15 for the Indiana girls. 46-31. Been a drought here. To the basket, Rich throws it up, partially blocked and picked out of there by Schickel. She hands to Allie Patberg.
Looks like D. Givens now going to go against Patberg.
D will play at Western Kentucky. Goes now to Sanders. She launches. It won't go, but long rebound by Alexa Bailey. Down low, ball knocked away. Good hands there by Kiesler. There comes Rich with it. Long pass to Givens running the floor, and she can't handle it out of bounds. It'll go back to Indiana. 14-22, and back in the ball game, Cleaver will come in, and going out will be Morgan Turner. These two teams will play again tomorrow night up in Indianapolis.
That's right. It used to be, I believe, a week off. It would be a Saturday and a Saturday, but now it's a Friday night. And get on the bus and head straight to Indy and
back-to-back.
Play on back-to-back nights.
Alexa Bailey, the daughter of the great Damon Bailey. Ball, side court loss. It'll go back to Kentucky. What can the Kentucky All-Stars do, Coach Cheatham? They're down 15, and it looks like Indiana's starting to impose their will a little bit.
Yeah, well, right now their body language doesn't look good, and so it would start by believing that we can compete.
Kiesler has the ball knocked away, and we're going to have a traveling call against Indiana there. Good defense by the Kentucky All-Stars, Asia Sims, to cut off the path there. 13:54 in this ball game, and it's Indiana 46, Kentucky All-Stars 31. Cleaver finally gets it into Morgan Rich. Rich. Working there on Miller, going to Arizona. Ball knocked away, stolen by Bailey. Alexa Bailey's got a bust out. Bailey to the basket, off glass, good.
Great recognition, great. Jumps the passing lane, and Alexis Bailey, and just takes it all the way and gets the finish.
Just like Dad Damon Bailey used to do it, huh?
He was fun to watch, wasn't he?
Sims, that won't go, knocked away, and last touch there by Kentucky. They're going to give it to Indiana, and we're going to get Macy Morse, Miss Basketball, in for Kentucky, and also Alexis Brewer. So let's check the Kentucky lineup. Rich, Macy Morse, Brewer, Cleaver, and Nora Kiesler in there. That's the five for the Kentucky now. Looks like Rich is going to go out, and back in is going to be Cameron McPherson. 48-31. Indiana's blown it open here in the second half after only leading 30-25 at halftime.
Right, they have certainly extended their lead through defensive intensity and much better offensive execution.
Schickel kicks it over now to Miller. Miller lines, got it.
Well, again, second chance opportunities for Indiana, and Mikhail Miller rewarded there on the left wing, knocks down that three. Kentucky's yet to hit a three in this ballgame.
The lead is 20, 51-31 with 13:03 to go here in this basketball game. Coming up, the boys game a little bit later. And proceeds from tonight's game go to the Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation under the leadership of Lions Clubs of Kentucky. The Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation staff and volunteers across the Commonwealth work to fulfill the mission of preventing and curing blindness by performing free vision screening, supporting eye research, operating an eye bank. To learn more about Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation, how you can get involved, please give them a visit at www.kentuckylionseye.org. They do great work at the Kentucky Lions Eye Foundation, Coach.
Certainly do. Great organization.
Well, the Indiana All-Stars have come out and just dominated the second half.
Right, we're 7 minutes in. Kentucky has only scored 6 points in 7 minutes. And don't have the stats in front of me, but they have more than 6 turnovers in this half.
Macy Morris will try to get on track. Here's Brewer out of the corner. 3 won't go, and rebounded there by Murphy. And we're going to have a traveling call against Indiana.
Yeah, Kentucky just has to keep fighting, play with pride. You're an all-star. And continue to work.
Very competitive first half, back and forth, but Indiana's just taking control here in the second half.
They sure have.
Leading by 20. And here's a steal and inbound by Zuri Sanders. She's got a bust out. Moore's chasing her, but lays it up and in.
Yeah, another turnover leads to an easy basket for Indiana. Now a 22-point lead. Kentucky just has to do a better job of cherishing that basketball, running the offensive sets that we know Coach Sybil's put in this week, and spreading the floor a little bit. They look a little close together. Their spacing could certainly improve.
McPherson stripped away by Indiana. Good steal by Murphy. Diving on the floor. Good hustle there by the Kentucky All-Stars to jump it up. Good.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. There's Sandra Skinner diving on the floor, showing some heart there and getting her team the ball back. Great job by Skinner.
Bailey would go out. She'll get a nice ovation from the Indiana crowd with that nice steal and lay-in. And checking in for her, Madeline Raster out of South Bend. How about the college she's going to play ball for? Harvard.
Great student athlete.
McPherson.
Yeah, I think the Indiana men's team, they have a kid going to Princeton. So you've got a Harvard and a Princeton, the Indiana All-Stars.
Long shot by Cleaver, won't go, but rebounded by Macy Morris. Throws it up. It rolls out of there, but she draws the foul. That would have counted had it gone for Macy Morris. Macy averaging 26 points. But, she does not, even though she was Miss Basketball, there's a Whitney Creech girl out of the mountains that averages like 34 points a game.
Yeah.
And she'll be back next year.
That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Macy been playing down there in Bell County since her 7th grade year. She started playing on the junior varsity team, scored over 3,000 points in her career, going to go play her college basketball at the University of Kentucky. And what a feat it would be for the Indiana All-Stars if they can keep Macy from hitting a 3 in this ball game, because I'm telling you, the kid can shoot. She can fill it up, and they have just done a wonderful job. I think she's been able to get one shot off tonight.
Crossover, knocked away, and let's see, it's going to be, the officials are going to confer. Looks like you can give the ball back to Indiana. 11:55, timeout on the floor with Indiana leading the Kentucky Girls All-Stars 53-32, breaking open a 30-25 halftime score. And it's been, Coach, it's been Allie Patberg, the All-American, leading the charge for the Indiana girls.
Yeah, done a great job handling the ball, great court vision, seeing her teammates, feeding her teammates, been able to convert on some fast breaks, and Indiana pushing the lead up to 21.
We'll step out here and come back. 53-32, Indiana leading Kentucky here, 11:55 to play.
Nice job today.
Thanks, Coach.
Proud of you. We'll get back at it tomorrow. If we lose focus on the field, it could cost us a penalty or even the game. If you lose focus behind the wheel by texting and driving, it costs you a fine or worse, your life. Big Blue Nation, don't text and drive.
30-25 at halftime, but Indiana has just willed their way to this 53-32 lead. Coach Justin Cheatham with me, Gary Ball here on Prep Spin and Bluegrass Sports Commission. Thanks for watching the webcast tonight in high definition here at the Beck Center, Coach. It's been all Indiana girls, and I'll tell you, Allie Patberg has just really taken over this game in the second half.
Right, well, we were excited to see her play, and kind of a slow start in the first half, but has really taken over in the second.
Shot won't go for Maggard. Rebounded down low, off glass, and knocked down nicely. And that's big Jenna Allen. When I say big Jenna Allen, she's 6'4", head out of Bedford, North Lawrence, going to Michigan State.
Yeah, great offensive rebound there. Defended and still manages to muscle it up.
Brewer
and get
to the basket,
finish.
missed the layup. How many layups have they missed, Coach? Ball off the leg of Morse, diving on the floor, and knocked.
Yeah, it's been a game characterized by turnovers and missed layups for Kentucky.
Nora Kiesler back in along with Janaea Hall out of Apollo. They will join Cleaver in the lineup along with Alexis Brewer. 55-32 Indiana. Kentucky girls have only scored 7 points in the second half. Cleaver from the free throw line, in and out. There's Kiesler with the stick, back rolls out and pulled down by Indiana's Jenna Allen. Raster, as we said, going to Harvard. Maggard going to Belmont, and then there's a shot out of the right side by France, and ball knocked away. And they're going to say off the knee of Kentucky's Brewer. They're going to give it back to Indiana. Good defense there by the Indiana Girls All-Stars, and in particular, Brittany Ward headed to Butler out of Pike High School.
Well, Gary, it was a great rebound there by Alexis Brewer. Pulls it down, and then just can't advance the ball. It dribbles it right off the Indiana knee, and then it bounces right back and hits her knee, goes out of bounds, ball back to Indiana.
Darby Maggard, who hit that, as Coach Cheatham said, hit that three early on in the ball game, but really since then has been quiet scoring-wise. One of the leading scorers in the state of Indiana, average, 28, 29 points a game.
That's right.
Won't go and battle for it, and Kiesler there batting, whistle foul call with 10:34 to play.
Yeah, that's Nora Kiesler using her size really well, getting in there, battling.
6'6".
And picks up the foul, so ball goes back to Kentucky.
There just aren't too many girls at 6'6", 6'7". All right,
No.
Brittany Griner was 6'8"?
Mm-hmm.
Stolen by Indiana, coming out of there with its Raster, bust down, and what a block there by Brewer.
Yeah, Brewer had a high screen. She could go either way. Goes left and turns it over. Comes back, though, defensively and makes the great block.
Maggard's three, and that's her second three. Darby Maggard said, I hear you up there. It's time for me to knock down another one.
Yeah, I guess we're louder than we realize because she just stepped back and made a tough one, even got knocked down after the shot.
Cleaver open from the free throw lane, rolls off, and rebounded by Jenna Allen. Comes Indiana up 58-32. 9:50 to play. France. Allen missed the left hand and a whistle foul called. And Indiana just dominating this ball game. It was 30-25 at halftime, Coach. 30-25. They've outscored the Kentucky girls 28-7 here in the first 10 minutes of this second half.
Right, we're already in the 11th minute. Only 7 points by Kentucky, and I would say probably 9 turnovers. So
I don't know what Mark Holt.
Just a really tough half there for Kentucky.
I don't know what Coach Holt said to his Indiana girls in the locker room, but he better bottle that and hope he can send the same message out tomorrow night because they have dominated the second half.
They came out with all the intensity, and there was a little spark in the Kentucky team there at around the 18-minute mark, but Indiana snuffs it out with fast breaks and second chance opportunities, but most importantly, defense. You know, if you're going to win at any level, you have to play defense. There's plenty of offense on the court. Both teams are filled with all-stars. It's really defensive intensity that's going to win a game like this.
Macy Morris and Morgan Rich will be playing for Kentucky. They need to get their game on track here with 9:38 to go because their ball club is down 60-32. There's a grab away from the ball, and it's going to be against Indiana. And they called Tori Schickel for that, Coach. Team's 4th foul.
Yep, Dee Givens back into the game, so she'll take the ball out of bounds here.
You don't think about it. It's an all-star game. All these girls are going to be outstanding players in college. Some of them might be, take a couple of years to acclimate to the college game, but ball picked up by Indiana on the drive attempt there by Hall. But I think Patberg could be here's a three-pointer. Good by Darby Maggard. A third three-pointer by Darby out of Fort Wayne, Canterbury, going to Belmont University.
Yeah, it didn't take her long to get her shot off.
Keyser's shot rolls off the rim, stuck back up, and put in there by Dee Givens.
Dee Givens with the putback, and that's points on the board for Kentucky, which we haven't seen in a long time.
63-34. Raster, ball knocked away. Boys game will come up approximately 20-25 minutes after the conclusion of this one. It'll be the Kentucky and the Indiana All-Star boys battling. Shantae Thomas back in out of Lexington Lafayette. Going out will be Nora Kiesler out of Assumption in Louisville.
And Darby Maggard goes to the bench, and I'll tell you, you really sparked her game because
I fired
about
her
a
up.
second after you mentioned that she hadn't hit a three since the opening seconds, she knocks down 2.
She buried 2 of them. As a former Kentucky high school basketball player myself, I like our teams to be, a little bit more, competitive. But I tell you what, Indiana basketball is really, really good. We're finding that out here tonight, aren't we?
Well, I'll tell you a story. When I was coaching at Tates Creek, we went to Southwestern in Indiana to play at a Christmas tournament. And we had our first game at like 10 o'clock in the morning. And there was, 11 o'clock in the morning, and there was a 9 o'clock game. The attendance at the 9 o'clock girls game at Southwestern was like a boys game on a Friday night here in Kentucky. And I thought, I was concerned that my girls were going to freak out. It was the largest crowd that we played in front of all year. I mean, that's the passion of Indiana high school sports.
It's a travel down low after a shot by Murphy for Indiana. Coming back in for the Kentucky girls all-star team will be Asia Sims, and 8:28 to play, and it's Indiana girls 65, Kentucky girls all-stars 34. It was 30-25 at halftime.
Got a whistle saying I can believe the clock hadn't started. So we're just going to take it back out and get the clock set to where it's supposed to be.
Well, this Indiana girls team played their junior all-stars the other night, and the junior all only beat them 86-83. Took a terrific game by Allie Patberg, who had 26 points. But so their junior squad coming up next year must be pretty good too.
What does that say about their juniors? Well, if I'm not mistaken, this week in Indiana boys, didn't they split with their junior all-stars?
Yes, they did.
They won the first one and then turned around and lost the second one.
Ball stripped away. Long pass down court to Murphy. And here's a steal by Dee Givens. The front court. Givens to the basket, throws it up, and whistle foul call, and it's going to be on Schickel. Look how competitive these Indiana girls are. Schickel's upset that the foul's called on her, and her ball club's up by 31 points with 7:54 to play.
That's right, and the whole time that play was happening, Brittany Ward was trying to come up and get the back tip on Dee Givens. So even with a 30-point lead, Indiana not letting up.
7:54 to play, 65-34. And, Coach, coming up the boys' game tonight at 8 o'clock here at the Beck Center, campus of Transylvania University on this Friday night. And the two teams will regroup and head up to Indianapolis and play a doubleheader tomorrow night.
Yeah, so I wondered, does the Kentucky team stay all night tonight here, or do they get right on the bus and head to Indy? I wonder how that works.
I think they drive up tomorrow.
They drive up tomorrow morning? Okay.
Yeah, Indianapolis is about a 3-hour drive from here, I believe it is. From you just go up Cincinnati and 74 right into Indianapolis. 65-34. Indiana on top of Kentucky. Gary Ball with Coach Justin Cheatham, former Tates Creek girls basketball coach. And I'm a host of the Scholastic Ball Report TV show last 12 years. We'll be bringing that show back in August with our 13th season, covering all high school sports throughout the state of Kentucky.
It's a fun show, and it's just a great way to highlight so many of our wonderful student athletes all across this state.
William Warfield of Prep Spin will be having a big game of the week in high school football this year, beginning in August, and in the game of the week in basketball. We just completed the Raleigh's KHSAA State Baseball Championships last week. Coach Keith Madison and I called those games on the KHSAA TV network. And Wes Jessamine from over in your stomping, where you live over in Nicholasville, brought home the big trophy.
That's right. My beautiful wife Emily works at Wes Jessamine, and Wes Jessamine pulls in the state championship. Congratulations to them. But you're right. What a resource Prep Spin has become. And, all across this country right now, later on tonight, there's a young man on the Indiana team from Nigeria. You know what? His parents are in Nigeria tonight, and they can tune in and watch this game live, all because of Prep Spin. And
I'm sure there's a lot of folks watching up in Indiana. They're very happy right now because the Indiana All-Star team is dominating right now, 65-34, as Dee Givens can't get the free throw to go. Dee had a terrific career, though, at Lafayette High School here in Lexington.
Right. Region Player of the Year, led her team to a
quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals of the state tournament
yep.
Her junior year. Had a great senior year this year. And
of course, Kentucky has one state champion in boys and girls basketball. Indiana went to the classes several years ago. 7:40 to go. Givens to the basket, hanging. Ball, defense there by Indiana. Great defense, and, boy, that's just terrific play there. And coming out of there with that was Zuri Sanders. Oh, a nice play by Sanders. Allie Patberg is checked back in. Sanders comes over to Patberg. 7:20 to play. Whistle away from the ball.
I'm not sure what the call is. Looks like I'm going to call a foul away from the ball on Dee Givens.
That's her third.
So Indiana's
been in the bonus.
Mikhail Miller will go to the free throw line. 7:21 left and a 30-point lead.
Miller out of Michigan City will play at Arizona. How about that? How does a young girl from Indiana go all the way out to Arizona?
That's a good question.
But obviously it's a great program. 66-35 as she knocks down the free throw and the second one. Too strong and picked up by Indiana's Schickel off glass. No, and there is Ashante Thomas there out of Lexington Lafayette to rebound it. She'll play at Penn State. Long pass down court to Sims. Edge of the basket. Hoff almost threw it over the backboard. Pulled out of there by Tiara Murphy. Murphy has it stripped away by Rich. Rich stops from three. Off the mark. Givens trying to save it in with 6:57. You're just trying to look for something to spark this Kentucky girls team because they've just absolutely been dominated here in the second half.
Right, and the spark that Coach Civils is going to go to right now is 5 totally new players, which is probably a good decision. He brings 5 more All-Stars off the bench, including Miss Basketball, and see if he can get something going here in the last 6:57.
Those 5 new players are Macy Morris, as you mentioned, Miss Basketball, Alexis Brewer, Morgan Turner out of Meade County, Sandra Skinner out of Clark County, and the 5th player is Brianna Cleaver out of E-Town. She's going to play at Louisiana Tech. Cleaver is.
She's a great athlete. I've enjoyed watching her this week and watching her tonight. Just a wonderful athlete.
Patberg knocks down the free throw. She now has 15 points. That leads everybody. She averaged 26 in high school. Miss Basketball out of the state of Indiana, out of Columbus North, going to play her college ball at Notre Dame. Missed the second free throw, but jump ball call. And that's just a great job there by Zuri Sanders with 2 Kentucky defenders around her. Sanders won that 50-50 ball.
Yep, Sanders been very impressed with her tonight. And Allie Patberg, you mentioned Miss Basketball in Indiana, 177 votes to award her that title. The second place vote getter with 22 votes. So the voters in Indiana definitely.
Kicking in the corner out top it goes, and there's a three-pointer knocked down by Tiara Murphy out of South Bend going to Purdue. 69-35. Ball knocked away. Macy Morris has it stripped away by Miller. Miller, right side, Schickel. Ball knocked away, and Schickel gets it back. Hands it now to Murphy. Launches another three. Bullseye. It's just a shoot-around right now.
Yeah, it's an absolute shoot-around. There was a loose ball. Indiana gets it. And that is the second three in under 30 seconds for Tierra Murphy.
72-35. Who would have thunk it? Not that Indiana's going to win, but the margin is just
Yeah, especially when it's a 5-point game at halftime. It's 25-30 at halftime. It's competitive, a little sloppy on both parts, and it's continued to be quite messy for Kentucky, and Indiana's cleaned up a lot.
And, Coach, you and I were out at practice this week for the Kentucky girls and boys, and the girls' team looked really sharp in practice. I mean, it looked like they were ready to go.
That's right. They have practiced hard all week. We were both commenting on how focused they were, how energetic they were. But you know what? It hasn't carried over to the court tonight.
72-35 here at the Beck Center. We got the boys' game coming up at 8 o'clock tonight. So we're looking forward to that. There'll be a reminder the Kentucky All-Stars teams will be traveling to Bankers Life Arena in Indianapolis, play the second half of the Classic tomorrow night. The girls' game tips at 5, followed by the boys' game. So they're going to play at the Bankers Life Arena up there in Indianapolis, Coach. Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham, William Warfield from Prep Spin, First String Media, manning the cameras. You're watching in HD high definition tonight.
And it's not just basketball. It's football. It was baseball last week. It's you name it. You can see it right here on Prep Spin.
Comes Bay leading it over the right side. Raster rolls out of there for, Jordan France, who just checked in. Coming out of there with it is Rihanna Cleaver. Picked up by Indiana. Sloppy basketball right now. Tori Schickel for Kentucky, Down the lane, little Euro step there by Sanders, and we're going to have 5 more new players in for the Kentucky girls. It'll be Rich. She will come in along with Hall, Givens, Nora Kiesler, and Asia Sims. 5:30 to play, Coach.
5:30 to play. You just hope that if you're Kentucky, you can get something going that you can.
Three-pointer knocked down by D. Givens.
Yeah, good stroke there by D. Givens, and that's the first three-point basket for Kentucky in this game tonight.
And it comes 35 minutes into the game.
35 minutes into the game.
Of a 40-minute game, that's not enough when it comes from three-point range. 72-38. They do get the turnover. Morgan Rich. Bounce pass down low, trying to go to Kiesler. Knocked away. They lead it out to Bailey. It's a foot race. Bailey hands it over now to Murphy. Back to knocked away. Givens, and she stepped out of bounds. It'll go back to Indiana.
Well, that's good energy there by D. Givens. You're down 30. You knock down the three. You pick up your defensive intensity because you know what? You're playing this team again tomorrow night. And you have to just learn from this experience and continue to play basketball.
The Kentucky All-Star team would like to thank their hotel sponsor, the Home 2 Suites by Hilton Lexington University and Medical Center. The Home 2 Suites extended stay hotel in Lexington. They offer spacious suites with modern amenities and great location. Shot out of the corner, won't go there for Murphy. Got her bench up, though. With it is Jordan France. Murphy thought about another three. 72-38, Indiana All-Stars leading Kentucky. 4:43 to play. Little floater, France. Nice shot by Jordan France.
Nice dribble drive there by France. Hits the runner. And the Indiana All-Stars just absolutely not letting up defensively. They pick up the foul there, but with a 37-point lead, not letting up at all.
Well, the thing about these All-Star games, how many times have we seen it? The next night, the other team comes back, has a big-time night, and pulls out a big upset after getting.
That's exactly right. A 35-point win does not carry over when you're talking about players at this caliber. Just like the Indiana All-Star boys, they played the Junior All-Stars and beat them, I believe, by 30. And then they turn right around 2 weeks later and lose by 20. So it was like a 50-point swing in a matter of 2 weeks. So
free throw knocked down by Nora Kiesler. I played my high school basketball in northern Kentucky at Boone County, so we played a lot of Cincinnati teams. So I know how good Ohio. And we played some southern Indiana teams as well. So I know how good the kids in Indiana can shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
You're talking guys played out there like Larry Bird. Larry the Legend. Kyle Macy.
Kentucky back in their 2-2-1 press and gets a deflection there. That's Janaea Hall doing a good job defensively. But the possession stays with Indiana. 4 minutes to go and a 34-point lead.
Gains and rolls out of there. Rebounded, though, by Sanders, and the stick back for Zuri Sanders.
Offensive rebounds, Gary, in this half. It has just been about every possession Indiana gets multiple opportunities.
Dee Gibbons finds an open lane, can't get the shot to go, but she'll go to the line. Dee, I believe, is Allie Denton in the crowd tonight? Coach Denton?
I haven't seen her, but two of the Lafayette Lady Generals here competing.
Timeout on
Thomas
the 3:55, excuse me, Coach, 3:55, 76-40. Indiana leading the Kentucky All-Stars here at the Beck Center, and we'll step out here on Prep Spin to come back with more second half action with the Indiana All-Stars leading 76-40 over Kentucky here. We'll return after this.
Now you can support Prep Spin and buy a DVD of this game broadcast. We appreciate all the fan support out there, and we are glad that we're now able to offer you a chance to own this game.
We're back at the Beck Center, live on the campus of Transylvania. Gary Ball, Justin Cheatham, and it's all Indiana. They have just busted open here in the second half, Coach. They led 30-25 at halftime. What have they done? They've scored 46 points. We still got almost 4 minutes to play.
Right, every pass is contested. Their defensive pressure on the ball and then jumping in the passing lanes when they double team the ball handler has just caused Kentucky fits. The spacing on the Kentucky offense has been poor, and then they've transitioned into great fast breaks where they're getting multiple opportunities. Second chance opportunities for teams, lead the baskets, and that's exactly what's happened.
Givens can't make either free throw, but good rebounded by Sims, and then we're going to have a rebound by Schickel, and she's going to be fouled on a reach with 3:51 to play. Indiana leading 76-40 here against the Kentucky All-Stars. It was 30-25 at halftime. Kentucky women have scored only 15 points here in the second half, whereas the Indiana girls have scored. They had 30. They've scored 46 points. They've outscored them 46-15, Coach.
46-15. That's exactly right. And the Kentucky body language has really said it all here in the last 5 or 6 minutes. And, Coach Civils has definitely gone to his bench. The last two substitutions have been a 5-man rotation. So everybody's getting their shot in there.
Schickel able to knock down one free throw, 77-40 Indiana Girl All-Stars. Boys game coming up at approximately 8 o'clock tonight here from the Beck Center. Indiana All-Stars, Kentucky Boys All-Stars. Sims shot, rattles out. Rich battling, and hand there by Schickel, and coming out of there with it is Madeline Raster.
Boy, that's another stat line. Only one 3-point basket made by the Kentucky All-Stars tonight.
As France's shot was blocked, but she's fouled, and looks like shaking up a little bit. One of the Kentucky Asia Sims shaking up a little bit out of Bourbon County. Thanks for watching tonight on Prep Spin. Gary Ball with Coach Justin Cheatham, William Warfield producing, First String Media. Indiana All-Stars on top by 37. Cameron McPherson in for the Kentucky All-Stars. She replaces Asia Sims, who was shaken up. Free throw knocked down by Jordan France. She's headed to St. Louis University. 78-40. 3:23 to go in this ball game. Boys game coming up at 8 o'clock. McPherson over to Janaea Hall out of Apollo. Saw some Apollo fans here tonight. Given to the basket and won't roll, and there's Kiesler battling. Kiesler and Schickel, and they're on the floor. Jump ball, call something. They did. It's a jump ball.
Finally got the call, and jump ball, and Kentucky's going to sub 4 more in. Possession stays here with Kentucky. Just trying to get something going that you can focus on and build upon for tomorrow night, because you have to turn right around and play this team again. You want to find something that works. And right now, nothing's working.
Brewer, good job of getting lines to line 3 up, and that won't go. And rebounded Skinner, and she puts it up and in, and Sandra Skinner will get the soup and the sandwich.
Skinner, nice job there, and puts that back in. That's exactly right. So she'll go for the and one and is able to capitalize.
Skinner out of Clark County, going to Virginia Commonwealth. 78-43 on the three-point play by the Kentucky All-Stars. 2:47. Here's France, and lines up the 3. Good, Jordan France. She's hit a couple of those tonight, Coach.
That's right. Indiana had 3 threes at the end of the first half. They've doubled that here in the second half.
Shante Thomas, power move, rolls out. Rebounded by Victoria Gaines. She'll play at Michigan State. Dumps it down low, turning and missing a shot as Schickel gets it back, no, and whistle foul call.
Yeah, foul going to go against Morgan Turner there on the rebound. And
Morgan Turner out of Meade County in Brandenburg, and the all-time leading rebounder and scorer in the history of that school, boys and girls, Coach.
Headed to Lipscomb.
Can play the 3-4, the 5. Free throw knocked down by Schickel. Tori Schickel out of Evansville, Mater Dei. She'll play at Butler in Indianapolis. Rattled in out, rebounded by Shante Thomas.
Good rebound there by Shanti.
Long pass. McPherson throws it over the head, though, of Sandra Skinner out of bounds. Turn it over with 2:12 to play. And Indiana girls 82, the Kentucky girls All-Stars 43. France out top to Miller. She launches, knocks it down.
Well, you called it a shoot-around at about the 4-minute mark, and that's just continued to look just like that. Indiana's
Nice
very
move.
relaxed, very relaxed.
Nice jumper there by Alexis Brewer. That was sweet.
Yep.
85-45, minute 42. Raster and off her knee. Madeline South Bend St. Joseph will go to Harvard. Not a bad place to get a degree. Brewer, who had a nice little jumper last possession for the Kentucky All-Stars.
She sure did. Tough player. Great competitor.
Brewer in trouble, though. Schickel cuts her off. High pass. Saved over there by Turner. Morgan, wing, about a 15-footer, an air ball, and pulled out of there by Indiana. Streaking out of there is Madeline Raster. Over it comes now. France lining up the 3. Got it.
They haven't missed in a while, have they, Gary? France now 2 threes here in the last couple of minutes.
It's like a game of horse. And the Indiana girls are lighting it up. 88-45, minute to play. Brewer, 18-footer good.
Brewer gaining some confidence there on those last couple of
I might
possessions.
help her for tomorrow night.
It
For
sure
another
can.
3, good again by France.
Yeah, France now 3 threes in the last couple of minutes.
She's filling it. And filling the basket up, too. 91-47. 46 seconds, and the boys' game coming up at about 8 o'clock here tonight from the Beck Center. Shot rolls off there for Cameron McPherson out of Danville. Coming with it is Madeline Raster. Raster down, kicks it in the corner, and there's a shot. Won't go there for Alexa Bailey. Ball's going to be stolen by McPherson. She'll have a bust out. McPherson stops, lays it up. Nicely done.
Tough shot there by McPherson. Gets that layup to go.
She has 4 points. Ball blocked there by Shante Thomas. Turning around, though, and scoring to finish it is Madeline Raster. First time you don't succeed, Coach. Stay with it.
Well, that's been the story of the night. Second chance opportunities for Indiana in the second half, and it's certainly contributed to them scoring 93 points in this basketball game.
Just going to let the clock run out down to 4 seconds. And the Indiana girls are going to win it going away. 93-49 over the Kentucky All-Stars. They'll play tomorrow night at Bankers Life Center. But final here tonight, Indiana 93, the Kentucky Girls All-Stars 49. We'll be back in about 15-20 minutes with the boys game against Indiana here. So just come back into Prep Spin for that. 93-49 Indiana over Kentucky for Coach Justin Cheatham. Gary Ball here in the first game for William Warfield, our producer. We'll come back with a boys game here. It'll be the Kentucky-Indiana boys all-star game coming back in about 20 minutes. We'll return after this.